Guys, welcome to the November 6th, 2025 edition of the 10 at 10, brought to you by MrMaple.com.
Hey guys, I'm Tim, that's Corbin. We're Mr. Maple, family builder business, specialize in Japanese maples. We do the largest selection of Japanese maples of anywhere in the United States, almost anywhere in the world, and we ship directly to your door. And we're gonna talk about 10 of the 20 trees getting listed today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna start off with an awesome Acer Japonicum Rising Sun.
Rising Sun has these big Acer Japonicum leaves. Japonicums love those huge leaves they can provide. This is one of the largest leaf Japonicums of them all. It's huge. It makes this nice tree, 8 to 10 foot in 10 years, but these big leaves give that almost tropical feel out there in the garden.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Japonicums. I love the names that you get for them. You know, they're always kind of evoking this like natural thing. Most maples are kind of evoking these natural beauties that we experience in, you know, the natural world. Rising Sun, just beautiful. Yeah, I love those kind of dinner plate leaves that some of the Japonicums can get. You put them in a little bit more shade, that's going to enlarge their leaf. But yeah, why do you want a big leaf? Because these guys have awesome fall color, and sometimes bigger is better, man.
And the leaves on this are phenomenal when it hits fall color, having that bigger platform to show that fall color. It is amazing. It's going to be one of the trees that you love out there in the landscape because it's truly different than what you think of a traditional Japanese maple, and it's truly different than what people think of a tree out there in their garden. It's going to captivate everyone who visits your garden.
Yeah, and I really think these Japonicums, like, they're really like nice structural. They have a large presence in the garden just from like their growth habit. You know, they may not be as dense as some of the other some of your other Japanese maples, but they just have a presence. I love just kind of how they just look rigid in the garden. They're going to look amazing during the fall time, and some of these definitely make my top 10 list on my favorite maples in general.
So we went from one of the largest leaf Japanese maples to one of the smaller leaf Japanese maples, and possibly the slowest growing Japanese maple of them all, Acer palmatum Sir Happy.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is one that I kind of heard whisperings of whenever I first started. You know, I definitely have seen some pretty decent sized specimens of this, and a decent size is, you know, pretty, you know, maybe about that big. This is one that's really cool. I think a lot of people, they like to collect that crazier stuff, and I mean, does it get much crazier than, you know, like a tiny little tree, super slow growing.
Think Shishigashira, but smaller, like much smaller. This is a 2-year tree, and we're looking at a tree from the graft is maybe 3 inches. Sir Happy is one of the most highly desired and collectible trees, but I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult. It can be difficult, and the reason it can be difficult is many people overwater this selection. That's probably the number one way I've seen people kill Sir Happy is overwatering. If you're watering it as much as your Makawi Atsubusa, you're watering it too much. If you're watering it as much as your tattoo, you're watering it too much. It barely puts on any growth each year, so it doesn't need much water at all. It's one of those trees that prefers to be on that drier side. I've seen some people say that they grow an akadama and have success, and then they're watering it multiple times a day, just letting it dry thoroughly out constantly, making sure this tree doesn't stay wet in the roots. And overwatering is the biggest problem I see with Sir Happy. So be careful. If you're getting a Sir Happy today, don't overwater. Now, our Sir Happies that are shipping out, they ship in a small box by themselves. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. They're shipping a small box by themselves because they don't want anything else getting in there that could break these Sir Happies. It's extremely rare, it's difficult to propagate, it's heavily desired because it is the slowest growing Japanese maple. And guys, this is actually a pretty good size Sir Happy getting listed today on the 10 at 10 on these 1 counts.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, you know, you might kill things with a little bit too much love, man. These things are, you know, they take care of themselves most of the time. But I remember Tim, whenever I first started, he was always talking about the finger test, man. You know, you stick your finger in there, you know, rub it around a little bit. If it's coming back wet, you know, maybe hold off on the watering a little bit, man. And I think that some of those trees, like we have fairy hair, and we have, you know, Akushimo, those things that have a little bit different style leaves. I think we tend to overwater them a little bit more, especially if they're a little bit of a rarer plant. You want to take care of it and you want to do the best you can. And sometimes adding those extra factors in can really hurt you. So just kind of, you know, play it by ear. Make sure, you know, you're giving this thing water when it needs, and just kind of listen to that dirt, and you'll have some success hopefully with old Sir Happy right here.
I'd recommend a great container plant. I mean, it's a fantastic container plant. If you're getting a heavy amount of rainfall, bring the plant under your porch so that it's not getting that heavy amount of rainfall that is naturally. If you're planting this out there in the landscape, make sure you really mount it up on a hill and give plenty of soil underneath it that has very good drainage. That way it drains drastically with Sir Happy. That is the critical thing for essential success with Sir Happy. And I'm not gonna lie, it's still difficult, but it's unique, and it's the slowest growing Japanese maple out there.
Yeah, a little bit of fall color on this one too. Nice orange popping through right now. Sir Happy, guys, don't miss out. Guys, next up, we got an awesome maple, Acer palmatum, Tsuma Type.
Yeah, this is a Tsuma Type that's propagated out at the Buckholtz farm, and Tsuma Type has become its cultivar name. It has a purple-red border in the spring, a good upright habit, and it goes some really nice shades of yellows and oranges in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of those things we think about whenever we hear that word Tsuma is those painted nails, which you're going to get on this. I know you're saying this one has a little bit more upright shape than that Sumagaki with that kind of, you know, spreading habit that we got going on. But I really think that this is one of the most dynamic colors that you can, and dynamic habits out of any maple you can get. That beautiful, you know, kind of red tipping on the leaves. Especially these leaves are really nice, kind of a medium style leaves. And you get that border kind of blushing out and then moving through, going into that green color, but then yeah, coming back for some nice fall color too.
I like the poetry too, just behind the leaf itself looking like a hand. And then you're looking out there and then you've got these painted nails. And so that's where it gets that Tsuma-like name, which basically means painted. And that's just the thing about this style of Japanese maple that draws your attention. That early spring to mid-spring time frame, it's going to really steal the show with that purple nail on each and every leaf.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is one you see in a lot of like kind of that Asian aesthetic gardening. I mean, we saw a Sumagaki in the Lansu Chinese garden. I've seen them in Japan. And I really think it kind of gives you just that nice little subtleness where you're going to get that kind of flash of color, but then move back into like the vibrant kind of lively feel of a regular Japanese maple. And I just love that. I think it's nice to be able to get some where you got, okay, well, here's a spreading variety, here's, you know, more upright, because then you can just kind of pick and choose like what's going to work best for your garden. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you pick up one of these Tsuma types. Guys, next up, a classic Acer palmatum. We got Osakazuki right here, man.
Yeah, if you're looking for traditional Japanese gardening, the Tsuma Type we talked about earlier, and this particular one specifically, Osakazuki, this screams traditional Japanese gardening.
Definitely. I mean, you kind of have that subtlety coming out during the springtime with that kind of little pink blush. I love like the flowers on this one. The samaras are very beautiful as well. Moving from that pink blush into a really nice vibrant green color. But, you know, why is it called Osakazuki? Well, it's named after a giant sumo sake cup, man. That is usually a bright red. And guess what this thing does during the fall time? One of the most electric reds that you'll see out of any Japanese maple.
And we're seeing fall colors start. And what this does is it goes to a maroon first. And then just one day you'll walk out and it's like the light switch turned on. And it's just a vibrant, bright red across the entire tree. It's consistently considered one of the best fall colored Japanese maples of them all. So if you're looking for a fall color planting for your garden, this is an amazing tree to start out with. It's going to steal the show when fall hits, and everyone's going to be talking about the Osakazuki.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I've seen this in New Jersey. I've seen this in Charlotte. I've seen it all around the United States at least. And it is one of the most vibrantly colored maples that you can see. And I know we talk about a lot about fall, but man, during the springtime when you just kind of get that, just a little hint, man. It's just like, hey, man, this is what's going to be in store for you come fall time. I'm going to give you a little bit of that pink blush so you know what's going on. But yeah, talk about maple walk. Just, I mean, we shot a video, a cultivar highlight of his Osakazuki in, you know, peak fall color. And it's just jaw-dropping, man. You guys have probably seen a lot of that footage because I'm always going back to it. You know, because I'm like, man, this is what you could have in your garden.
Guys, next up, we've got Acer palmatum Mikazuki. Now, this is one of the very first trees when Talon quit putting ghost on the reticulated styles. And he named this one Mikazuki, which translates as crescent moon.
Yeah, I mean, this will go great with that rising sun. You kind of get that play between, you know, the sun and the moon. And I love that name because I love it when the names have levels to them. You know, you kind of get that kind of crescent shaped leaf that goes on, you know, maybe a little pinks, like maybe that fall time moon that's crescent shaped, you know, but then it moves into this kind of nice yellows and oranges during the fall, which, I mean, it's like it's hitting on all those colors that you can see that moon have. And this is one I'm walking through a greenhouse from the very beginning of my journey to right now. This is going to pull my attention all the time.
Now, Mikazuki can look very different in different times of the year in different environments. But in the springtime, that's when really Mikazuki really shines to me. It can give you some pink purples that are unreal, metallic-y, with this almost eerie-like leaf to it. The leaf is heavily divided. It's got a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a curl to it, and some serrated edges that are very different as well. This is a very attractive Japanese maple that then later goes to that cream on green. It is beautiful, and it's always changing, and it's always beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, shooting that cultivar highlight, man, where it was just me, you, and Matt. We're hanging out underneath the giant purple ghost, and we're just looking, like right behind you guys is this beautiful, just like pink. It looks like somebody took a paintbrush and just, you know, just beautiful pink. And yeah, just watching that change and morph as the kind of the seasons go through. I mean, that's what we love about Japanese maples, man. Man, this one makes me think of Christmas time, honestly. Just the name alone, Acer palmatum Noel.
Yeah, Noel is a beautiful pink on red Japanese maple. It's a selection that was found by one of our good friends in Connecticut and named after his dog. John O'Brien, who we're talking about, had the original one there. I've got a photo with the original tree. It's beautiful. It's just a sport that happened on one of his Japanese maples where you get the pink and red. You get the pink on a red Japanese maple. It gives you the same spring interest that something like a bonfire or Tsuma Type would give you. But then after, when that fades away, you start to see cream spotting variegation all across that as well.
Yeah, I know. I think this tree just clicked with me whenever I was picking up for 10 at 10s, pulling these trees. Because, you know, I don't really only seen it in that variegated form. But then I picked them up and I was with Brian and I was like, dude, this is literally like a variegated the shoujo. Like, you know, I was like, what the heck? Like this tree really is one of those crazy ones, man. And I think that's just so awesome. John O'Brien, really cool guy. Got to meet him at the Maple Society.
I think we shot a top 5 with him.
Yeah, we definitely did. Y'all should go check that out. I think I was right in front of a really beautiful fall color Japonicum. So that one was really super awesome. But yeah, dude, it's just like when you start to realize the levels behind trees, it's just, I mean, it's a whole beautiful world of just craziness. And I love whenever something like this really just kind of like knocks your socks off.
What do you think is to sell it faster, Sir Happy or Noel today?
Dude, that's a good question. I know a lot of people have been asking for Noel in the comment sections. Guys, if there's any trees that you really, really need, man, drop them in the comment section below. We're always watching.
So guys, next up we've got Acer palmatum Blonde Beauty.
Yeah, man. I mean, talking about trees that pull your attention, just walking through the greenhouse. So many times during the fall, man, I have been walking through a greenhouse. Something is just literally like made me rubberneck just walking through the greenhouse. Pick it up. What does the label say? It says Blonde Beauty on there. I mean, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, Blonde Beauty is one of those Japanese maples that's a nice reticulated cream, but if you give it a little bit of sunlight, it gets bleach highlights across it throughout the year, especially in those summer months. It's a selection by Talon Buchholz. When we were naming Acer Olive Rim Hot Blonde, I guess Talon was thinking something similar in naming Blonde Beauty. And this one gives you some of those blonde highlights that people love having out on their Japanese maples. It's a ghost type that can give you some of the characteristics that you love about Orange Dream. But the fall colors are intense, and you can get some really nice shades of bright cherry reds, almost infused with pink reds and yellows.
Yeah, I mean, this is just really one of those dynamic ones. I think it's going to play really well with some of those more darker colored ghost types, you know, or even those new ghosts, you know. Throw this next to Black Hole, throw this next to a dark ghost, throw this next to a Magi Shiguri, man. I mean, I know that's not a ghost type, but that reticulated varieties are they really play well together, man, especially as you get to watch them change throughout the season. And this will look great next to Mikazuki too, man. Blonde Beauty. Guys, if you got a Blonde Beauty at home, make sure to pick one of these up too. All right, guys. Y'all are probably tired of me talking about this tree. I bring it up literally almost every single video I'm in. We got an awesome Acer palmatum black lace right here.
Now, black lace is one of the deepest, darkest black Japanese maples out there in the landscape, but it has a leaf almost like something to the kin of a burgundy lace. But black lace is more vigorous, it's more upright, and it holds that darker color, so it gives a really nice aesthetic out there in the garden. It gives that almost a feel of an upright Tamukiyama, but darker and more black. It's an amazing color to have out there. Give this tree some sunlight to really peak that color, but it has held its color for me like this in those shadier situations of our greenhouses, which has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, man, I don't know I talk about this, but I'm just trying to put y'all on some heat, man, because I really think this tree is going to be one we're going to slowly start to see kind of a mass adoption of this in the trade. You know, it grows quick, it handles sun pretty well, and it looks different than those classic, you know, red Japanese maples. And I think that's just like another one of my favorite things about it. It really just takes that classic look that everybody loves, those red, beautiful, you know, blood good types, those Hefner reds, and you bring in something that gives you this beautiful texture on the leaf, that beautiful color. I'm just trying to say, get you one of these because, you know, 20 years from now, when your neighbor's like, man, I just picked up this beautiful black lace, man, it's like, come on, man, I've done had one of those for 20 years. Come back here, I'll show you what a real one looks like, man. So
it's a beautiful tree. Pair this with a lot of lighter colors, something like the yellows like I always love, like Golden Falls, Summer Gold, Hot Blonde. You can have a dynamic contrast in the foliage, but also when you put it out in the sunlight, it's going to really show off very well. If you take these darker colors and put them in deep shade, it's going to keep that area very dark, unless you pair other yellows around it to brighten up or maybe give it a background.
And Irene, that's all I say right there, man.
Guys, next up we've got Acer palmatum Yamananishki, also known as Snow Peak. This is in that Higashiyama style family. We've got a cultivar highlight on this on the MrMaple Show if you want to go check that out. And it gives you more of those creamy whites in that Higashiyama style.
Man, I mean, you could literally have a poetic garden in your backyard. Yes, the rising sun beautifully crests over top of the snowy peaks, followed by the crescent moon, man. You know, like, that's what I love about, you know, Japanese maples. I love the names, man. I think that's so cool. Like, there's kind of a stylized, you know, Americanized names, and then you have the people who, you know, are maybe in America that introduce kind of that Japanese name, and then you have those classic kind of Japanese names that are so layered. Yamananishki, one of those most awesome Higashiyama variegated maples that's around. And yeah, those snowy peaks, they go pretty hard.
And last but not least, y'all, we've got Acer palmatum Otaha. This has the colors that we love about something like Benihime, but this one's claim to fame is it's more durable and easier to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I love a dwarf maple, man. As, you know, we progress, usually those gardens are getting a little bit smaller, so I think a lot of people really understand, you know, the merit of the dwarf maples. You can really just have so much impact in a smaller space, and I think that's awesome. These are, you know, kind of in that sort of vigorous dwarf kind of things that we were talking about earlier, where it's going to put on a lot of growth and then slowly dense up. So most of the time, you know, these dwarfs kind of have more of a ball shape. Right now, it's not looking too ball-like, but as these branches slowly start to develop, I mean, it's going to get a lot more dense. That spring color is just going to be that much more, and it's going to look like, you know, maybe a little fire in the garden.
It is in that Coralinum group, so it gives you some amazing just coral colors in the early spring, like a coral pink. It's typically going to be 3 foot by 3 foot in 10 years, so it does stay fairly small, like you're mentioning, and that shrub-like stature makes it easy to put out in the landscape because it's not going to go too tall, but it's going to give you that intensity on that spring color. New growth flushes on Otaha give you those colors again in the summer. This is a super rare dwarf that everybody's after, so grab you an Otaha today.
Guys, that was just 10 of the 20 Japanese maples that are going to be on today's 10 at 10 sale. Dude, that was a crazy 10 at 10, man.
We had Sir Happy, Otaha, Noel, and Rising Sun all on one 10 at 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty heavy loaded.
That's pretty dope. I mean, who's bringing it to you like that? Guys, make sure to comment your favorite one that you saw in the video today. I know it's going to be hard, but it helps us in the algorithm, makes, you know, pushes our video out so we can share our passion of Japanese maples to more people just like you.
My favorite, probably Sir Happy.
Dude,
That thing is amazing. Small, compact. You don't see that around often.
they're all my favorite.
Y'all, thanks for joining in today. Take care
God bless.
and have a great day.